It's noon on the West Coast, 3 o'clock on Capitol Hill, where we have just learned another Republican senator says he will not vote for the new Republican health care bill. Officially, that's 5. And unless something changes, the new health care bill cannot pass. Details in a moment. And at the White House, another off-camera briefing. Live coverage and video recording banned. President Trump did go on camera this morning telling Fox and friends that he has a problem with the special counsel leading the Russia investigation. But he's also praising Robert Mueller. And the president says it was not stupid to suggest that he had tapes of the fired FBI director James Comey. Also, the North Koreans claim they are the real victims in the death of the American college student Otto Warmbier. And Dennis Rodman, just back from his latest visit with Kim Jong-un, says people don't see the good side of North Korea. It apparently involves karaoke. Let's get to it.
Now, Shep Smith reporting live from the Fox News deck.
Breaking news now on Fox News Channel. Another Republican has just sent word that he will vote no on the new Republican health care bill. The senator is Dean Heller of Nevada. He says he's out. Unless compromises change things, the bill cannot pass without Democratic support, and it's not coming. No comment yet from the White House or from anyone else on Capitol Hill. This has just happened in the last couple of minutes. Reaction as we get it. Just before we learned that, the White House for a second day in a row banned live coverage of the daily briefings for reporters. Instead, it held another off-camera gaggle and embargoed the audio until that gaggle was complete. This is what we saw from the camera at the White House as the press secretary Sean Spicer spoke to journalists in the briefing room just a short time ago. One reporter asked him, "Why does this have to be off camera?"
What's the reasoning for not answering questions on camera today?
The president gave lengthy remarks today on camera. Spoke about the VA bill. I hope you carried it.
You spoke on camera too earlier.
I know. I did. See how much on camera there is? I mean, look, I think, as I said, you referenced the comments I made on Monday. I've made the same comments, similar comments in December and January. And some days we'll do it. I think it's great for us to come out here and have a substantive and discussion about policies.
The press secretary also spoke about comments President Trump made on Fox and Friends this morning. The president said, "We'll have to see as to whether the special counsel Robert Mueller should recuse himself from the Russia investigation." And he said his initial tweet about tapes may have influenced the testimony of the former FBI director James Comey. Yesterday, the president admitted on Twitter that he did not record and does not have tapes or conversations with James Comey. The president today again leaving the door open as to whether anybody else may have tapes of those conversations. He said, "You never know," and referenced what he called the horrible situation with surveillance all over the place. He also suggested his tweet back in May claiming James Comey, quote, "better hope there are no tapes," may have forced Comey to be honest when he testified before Congress earlier this month.
So you never know what's out there, but I didn't tape, and I don't have any tape, and I didn't tape. But when he found out that that there may be tapes out there, whether it's governmental tapes or anything else, and who knows, I think his story may have changed. I mean, you'll have to take a look at that, because then he has to tell what actually took place at the events. And my story didn't change. My story was always a straight story. My story was always the truth. But you'll have to determine for yourself whether or not his story changed. But I did not tape.
Actually, he could find out for us because he could ask, are there any recordings in the White House? You may remember the president during a news conference in the White House Rose Garden accused Comey of committing perjury. The former FBI director told the Senate Intelligence Committee that President Trump asked him to pledge his loyalty and then asked him to stop investigating the former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. But the president said neither of those claims was true and that he was 100% willing to testify under oath that Comey was lying. The president also tweeted Comey's testimony contained so many false statements and lies. Legislators and investigators in Congress are previously demanded that the White House turn over any tapes if they existed. And after the president tweeted he had no idea whether somebody else might have made some tapes, the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee yesterday called on the White House to set the record straight once and for all. The Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff in a statement said in part, if the president had no tapes, Why did he suggest otherwise? Did he seek to mislead the public? Was he trying to intimidate or silence James Comey? The response from the White House in just a moment. President Trump, in that interview on Fox and Friends, also questioned the objectivity of Robert Mueller. Here's what President told Fox and Friends about the former FBI director's investigation.
Well, he's very, very good friends with Comey, which is very bothersome. But he's also, we're going to have to see. I mean, we're going to have to see in terms, look, there has been no obstruction. There has been no collusion. There has been leaking by Comey. But there's been no collusion, no obstruction, and virtually everybody agrees to that. So we'll have to see. I can say that the people that have been hired are all Hillary Clinton supporters. Some of them worked for Hillary Clinton. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous if you want to know the truth from that standpoint. But Robert Mueller's an honorable man, and hopefully he'll come up with an honorable solution.
Robert Mueller and James Comey did work together for years in Washington when Mueller was the FBI director and Comey was a deputy attorney general at the Justice Department. Our chief White House correspondent John Roberts back live for us at the North Lawn. What